I don't think it was, but they did have a document that showed. It just wasn't necessarily a DD-214.
I have two discharged, one from the regular Navy, and then after 8 years, reserves.
And that's a separate form than a DD-214.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was implemented a little bit later, but they do have discharge documentation that's used in lieu of the DD-214 during that time frame. So back to the third part of the VA, the National Cemeteries Administration. So the National Cemeteries Administration, it's very important that the veterans are aware of the benefits that they receive through the National Cemeteries Administration. A lot of veterans, hopefully not for a long time for any of you, a lot of veterans, they pass away, they don't realize, or their families don't realize, that they're entitled to burial. Their headstone or their cremations, whatever it may be, they're entitled to be inured in a federal cemetery as long as they are have an honorable discharge and they meet the criteria for that. A program that the National Cemeteries has been rolling out recently that I'm actually about to sign up for myself, pre-need eligibility. So you take that DD-214 or whatever the discharge documentation is that you were provided, and you submit it to the National Cemetery in advance of your death. And then they give you eligibility and a packet so that when you do pass away, your family just has this packet, they call the number, and you're done. There's no struggling to try and find out, well, where's my mother or father's DD-214? Where's this documentation? Where's the service? All of that information could already be planned out and taken care of. And there is a form for that can be filled out. That's another thing. If you wanted to get that form, I could print it off for you. It's available online, but I could also print it off for you and provide it to you via mail or however you'd like it if that's something that you would like to do. And lastly, just a kind of brief overview of the other benefits that our office is able to do when it comes to specifically veterans. A lot of veterans come in with disability compensation claims, pensions, things along those lines. If you reach out to us and you request for a status update on what your compensation claim, pension, dependency claim, whatever it may be, we could submit an inquiry to the VA directly, and the VA will be able to provide us what the status is of your individual claim. So I know a lot of claims take a long time, and it gets very frustrating. I know mine took a while. It was frustrating. But it's an option that you could reach out to us, and we could let you know just what the status is, ensure that it's still being worked on. It is a virtue. We all hurry up and wait. We all did it. One thing we can't guarantee, though, we cannot guarantee that the document or that your claim will be expedited. There are very specific criteria for expediting a claim, and I'm happy to discuss that with anybody if they feel that expedite is something that they should have. A second aspect for an inquiry is if you are having issues with the VHA, the Healthcare Administration. If you're speaking with your doctors, you're not able to get an appointment, you've been trying to get a hold of your doctor to find out what's going on and you can't hear anything, or you have a complaint against the VHA for whatever reason, you could feel free to contact us, and I'm happy to submit an inquiry it goes directly to the director's office of the individual healthcare system that you are working on. So you don't have to worry about it going to your doctor, and then your doctor just says, never mind, and it gets tossed away. It goes directly to the director's office, and the director's office provides a response to us that we would give to you. Once again, all of these services that our office provides, that's for the California District 11. Most, if not all, congressional offices will have somebody in the varying capacity of what I do, to a certain extent at least. I can't speak towards the individual offices that you may be part of. I can only speak towards ours. But if you do have any questions and you want to discuss what that process would be when you reach out to your offices on how you would talk to them, I'd be happy to speak with you. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Is the DD-214 also the form I would need if I wanted to request a service record from a deceased veteran?
I'm sorry, the last part?
If I wanted to request the service records of a deceased veteran.
So the service records for a deceased veteran is a little bit different. You would need a copy of the deceased veteran's death certificate, and you would have to just basically state how you are related to that deceased veteran. Typically speaking, it's for sons, daughters, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, spouses, things along those lines that they're able to do it. But you do have to have the death certificate, and not just like a carbon copy. It needs to be an actual official copy. And then you would submit that to the National Archives requesting a DD-214 or whatever the documentation is that you're looking for.
Now, if I had that DD-214, would that help in getting their service record showing where they served and what they did?
Even with the DD-214, they still require a death certificate, just because they have to ensure that someone's just not using a person's DD-214 to get access to their military records. Or benefits. Yeah, benefits is probably more realistic. Yes, Chuck?
This may not be known about it. Is still working on trying to get those people mutineers again?
Yes, he is.
You tell him if he does that, if they forgive those guys and honor them, they will dishonor over 6 million of us that served honor. We had no choice. We couldn't say, oh, that's too dangerous, I'm not going there. I bet you there was any number of guys on the battlefield would have changed places with those guys.
I'll be sure to pass that along for you. I will.
I don't know how these guys feel about it. That's the way I feel.
I'll make sure to pass that along.